Khushboo, Kantharia, and I are going to be reading verses 16 to 23 of Discourse 6 of the Bhagavad Gita. Khushboo has an online version that she's reading, the Sanskrit, and I have three versions that I'm reading. First is the Penguin Classic version, edited by Laurie Patton, which is in verse. Secondly, the Light Illuminations Bhagavad Gita, Annotated and Explained, translation by Shri, Purohit, Swami. And third, then a very scholarly version of the Bhagavad Gita by R.K. Sharma with Carol Pitts and Les Morgan. And so we're talking about meditation and self-control in this part of the Bhagavad Gita. And so Discourse 6, Slok 16.
Natya shana tastu yogo dasti na chaikanta manas natah na chati swaprashilasya jagrato neva charjuna. Slok 16.
Yoga is not about eating too much, nor is it about not eating at all. It is not about the practice of sleeping too much, nor is it about keeping awake.
Can I interrupt you?
Sure.
Can you put it on the speaker view, please?
Speaker, well, it's on speaker view on my side.
Okay. I'm still visible on the YouTube.
Yes, a small U is still visible.
Okay. As long as it's small. Correct. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So that was verse 16 in verse. This is in prose. Meditation is not for one who eats too much, nor for one who eats not at all, nor for one who is overmuch addicted to sleep, nor for one who is always awake. The Sharma reads, truly, yoga is not for one who overeats, nor for one who does not eat at all, nor for one who habitually oversleeps or is awake too much, O Arjuna. Verse 17.
Yutyaha hara viharasya yuktaka cheshtasya karmasu yutyasva pana vabodhasya yogo bhavati dukhaha. Slok 17.
For one who is joined to yoga, yoga destroys all pain in food and sport, in the undertaking of action, and in sleeping and awakening. And the prose reads, but for one who regulates food and recreation, who is balanced in action, in sleep, and in waking, it shall dispel all unhappiness. The Sharma reads, for a person who is regulated in diet and recreations, regulated in work activities, and regulated in sleep and wakefulness, yoga becomes the destroyer of miseries. Verse 18, Slok 18.
Yada viniyataha chittamatmaneya vavatishthite nihaspuha sarvakamebhyo yukta ityuchayate tada. Slok 18.
One is said to be joined in this way when one's thought when one's thought is restrained, when one abides in the self alone, beyond longing and all desires. Verse 18, when the mind, completely controlled, is centered in the self and free from all earthly desires, then is a person truly spiritual. And the Sharma reads, when the disciplined mind is well established in the self alone, free from all desires and longings, such a person is considered to be a real yogin. Verse 19, slok 19.
Yatha dipo nivatastho nendate sopama smrita yogino yata chittasya yojato yogamatma naha. Slok 19.
One is like a lit lamp that does not flicker, standing without wind. This likeness is kept in mind for one who practices yoga, whose thought is controlled, joined to the yoga of the self. The prose reads, the wise man who has conquered his mind and is absorbed in the self is a lamp which does not flicker, since it stands sheltered from every wind. Just a moment. The Sharma reads, as a lamp in a windless place does not flicker, that is the simile brought to mind by a yogin of disciplined mind practicing yoga of the self. Verses 20 through 23 are together, and so we will read them as one group. Okay. Verse 20 through 23.
Yatro paramate chitta niruddha yoga sevaya yatra shivatmanatmana pasyanannatmani tushyati. Slok 20. Sukhamatya nikaha yattada buddhi grahayamati indriyama vetri yatra na chevayah sthita tattvataha. Slok 21. Yang labdava chaparaha labha manyate nadhika tataha yasmi nishthato na dukhena guru raipi vicha lyate. Slok 23. Sorry, slok 22. Slok 23. Tang vidya dukha sanyogi viyogaha yoga sindhi tama sa nishchayena yotkavyo yogo da nirvinya chetasa. Slok 23.
Slok 20. Where thought is at rest, held back by the practice of yoga, and where one is content seeing the self, by the self, in the self. Slok 21. That one knows the place of endless joy, grasped by insight beyond the senses, and when it is firm, one does not move away from truth. Slok 22. When one has reached it, one can think of nothing beyond it. When one is firm in it, one is not shaken even by deep pain. Slok 23. Let it be known, this dissolution of the bond to pain is called yoga. This yoga should be followed with an absence of doubt and with thoughts that are not despondent. Prose reads, there, where the whole nature is seen in the light of the self, where the person abides within his self and is satisfied, there, its functions restrained by union with the divine, the mind finds rest. Verse 21, when he enjoys the bliss which passes sense and which only the pure intellect can grasp, then he comes to rest within his own highest self. Never again will he stray from reality. Verse 22, finding that, he will realize that there is no possession so precious, and when once established there, no calamity can disturb him. Slope 23, this inner severance from the affliction of misery is spirituality. It should be practiced with determination and with a heart which refuses to be depressed. And there are footnotes. Pure intellect is called buddhi, and footnote 11, heart, chetas, is synonym for chitta. See chapter 4, note 11. In Indian philosophy, heart is considered an aspect of mind concerned with intuitive understanding and evaluation. And the Sharma reads, when the mind is at rest, controlled by yoga practice, and when truly seeing the self through the self, the yogin is content in the self. Slope 21, in which one realizes boundless bliss, attained by means of the intellect, beyond the reach of the senses and well established there, one does not deviate from truth. Slope 22, and having attained it, one thinks of nothing greater to attain, in which one is well established and is not affected even by profound misery. Slope 23, one should understand that disconnection of the union with misery is yoga. That yoga must be practiced wholeheartedly, with the mind undismayed. And so tomorrow we will begin with verse 24, and 24 and 25 are together. Where do you want to read to tomorrow, Khushboo?
Till 32.
You want to
Sorry,
read
28. 28.
28.
So I think we'll do it till 32. फल सहित निगुण निराकार के ध्यान का वर्णन. Okay. And
okay, so 24 to 32 tomorrow.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. After that, next day, we'll do it till 49. Cool. I want to read a passage which I think I have read before here, but still I will read it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So in the book which I am referring to, it's called My Gita from Devdutt Patnaik. It's contemporary understanding of Gita for the modern mind kind of thing.
Could you hold up the book so that we can see it? See the title and the name of the author. A little higher because, okay. Devdutt Patnaik. Okay. I've got
My Gita.
Okay.
Okay, here. If karma yoga is action without expectation, then what should the motivation of our actions be? Plants and animals act in order to find food and security only for themselves and their young ones. Human can also act to find food and security for others, even strangers. Can this be human motivation? To realize this potential is dharma. Dharma is the first word uttered in the Gita. It is often confused as a righteousness. The conflict between dharma and adharma is a point raised by Arjuna in chapter 1. Empathy is not about controlling others through rules. This is why Krishna continuously distinguishes between swadharma and paradharma, appropriate conduct of the self and the other. Swa is like swa is self and par is the other involved. So swadharma, my dharma, and paradharma, so your dharma. That's yeah.
Okay. I wanted to mention one thing too from Jung's life. Um, he had a dream when he was young, uh, and the dream was that it was late at night. He was going along with a candle, and the candle was flickering in the wind, and behind him was a very dark entity that was catching up with them. And he understood, and it gives me goosebumps to think about it. He understood that if the candle ever went out, um, he would die. And that's what this is talking about here is by yoga, you are learning to protect your candle, your lighted candle, which is the self, um, protected from all outside dangers. And do you concur with that, Khushboo?
Yeah. In the other words, totally, I can totally resonate it. In other words, we can also say that uh, yoga is like dissolving the delusion of ego that appears all the time and uh, which is a separation from the play of God, the
Yeah.
God acting out. In between, you are adding certain your stuff. So with yoga, we'll just let that energy flow through us. For an example, like we'll be a good transmitter of whatever energy which is passing through us rather than refining it, understanding it, intellectualizing it, talking about it. Yoga is more like being that perfect transmitter or something like that.
Right. And
You are
giving,
into the alignment.
right. And so
Yeah.
the flame represents the self, and we don't want that flame flickering. We want it to be very stable, like a candle that
Yeah, stable, like in samadhi. Stable means,
someday, yeah.
yeah, like in the meditative state where external influences doesn't like wind don't blow the flame away in that case.
Right.
It's it's not a flame anymore, it's fire. If you do yoga.
Mm-hmm.
That is so cool. Anyways, so yeah, is there anything you want to say?
Well, Miles is with us, and he says, "Good. Good morning and good evening. Sorry I am late. My wife has been doing daily yoga exercises for a couple of years. Really physically beneficial. I need to get in the habit too. And I said, this is my
My
yoga. Go ahead.
my do what wife asks you to do, and it's a perfect spiritual advice I can give.
and
Wives are always correct.
Now there's a bias. No bias in
Sure,
that one.
but Miles agrees, and oh, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, but
I
I,
saw how worried you were to create that mess over there.
well, you know it. Yes, you know that. My wife is going to blow out my candle if I don't clean up my room.
See, I didn't say anything. It's you who said it.
Yeah, I'm saying it. I'm saying it.
Anyways,
I'm acknowledging,
anyways,
but I responded to Miles. Miles, yes, this is my yoga. This is my yoga of action. Okay, so
yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
is my yogic practice here. Um, and so, okay, so Khushboo, you're going to tell us about
Yes,
the the
our
eyes.
lines, the
Yes.
eyes. Within infinite myths lie an eternal truth. We, who see, sorry, okay, I'll start again. Within infinite myths lies an eternal truth. Who sees it all? Varuna has but 1,000 eyes. Indra, 100. You and I, only two.
Yeah.
Think
Think
about it. Peace.
think think about it. Peace. I'll see you tomorrow, Khushboo. Thank you for a wonderful session today.
Thank you so much.
Peace.